What's up, YouTube? Kyle with ePoolSupply. Today we are back again with another What's in the Box. Today we're going to go over Hayward's AquaRay. It's a suction side pool cleaner using a seal type. Stay tuned. Alright, and we're back. So again, today we're going to go over Hayward's AquaRay. So this is very similar to their other suction side pool cleaner that they carry called the DV5000. So a little bit of a difference in terms of how it looks and a little bit of functionality, but overall the suction side cleaner with that seal is pretty much the same. It runs off a diaphragm where the diaphragm kind of agitates the cleaner all across, only runs it through a single line, and makes sure that it kind of randomly goes around your pool. So let's open this up and dive on in and show you guys what's in the box. Got a handy dandy knife just in case you were wondering. Needed. Alright. So everything's kind of loose in here, so I'm just going to kind of pull stuff out and show you as I go. So a little bit easier that way. Let's start with your accessory package. So Hayward likes to send these, so do all the manufacturers, with every cleaner, especially suction side cleaners, because there are little extra things that you need in order to do your installation. It's not as simple as a pressure side cleaner where you only need to hook it up and then focus on other types of tweaks. It normally requires some kind of assembly. So they like to send you all the different extras based off of the kind of setup that you have at home. So based off where you're going to put it, if you have a dedicated suction port already in the sideline with one of those little snap safety doors, you don't need to worry about this part. But if for whatever reason you need to go into your skimmer and use that as your suction side, they do give you a handy dandy little universal valve cuff. So this valve cuff is going to actually plug into the bottom of your skimmer, and it's going to allow you to plug the hose onto it. So they give you these different ridges and different sizes because it's meant for a variety of different piping based off of whoever did your pool. Sometimes it's 1.5 inches, sometimes it can go all the way up to 2.5 inches. Typically you're around the 2-inch part, but for whatever reason, if you got one or the other, universal, very handy. This just shoves down into that hole, into your skimmer, which allows you to actually take one of the hoses and plug it straight in, so then that way you can start running your hoses from there for the cleaner. So important, if you need it in your skimmer, hold on to it. Alright, and the next thing they're going to do is they're going to give you the regulator valve. So in order to use this, read your user manual. You may not need it, but if you do, it will walk you through how to do that in your user manual. It helps with the regulating of the suction to make sure that you're not giving way too much suction to your cleaner, as well as you're not giving too little, because either way you're not going to get the great functionality out of the cleaner like it deserves, like it should be, if you don't follow those instructions. So follow your user manual, it'll tell you what to do with this. Alright, this one, they only give you one eyeball diverter. So sometimes with the suction side pool cleaners like this, you need to rerun some of the diversion or the returns that you have around the side of the pool. They're going to run off that same suction line, and so sometimes you need to divert them a certain way to restrict flow and push the water a different way so that this cleaner can actually do its job better. So they give you one in there. Most pools, if you're already on a suction side pool cleaner, they already have them in there. You can buy them separately. Again, check out the list below. We got all the parts available for this, so they'll walk you through any of that if you're going to need any of these extras. So hold on to it. And then their warranty card. So Hayward has a limited warranty on all their cleaners. They will lay it out in this card. They'll also tell you what to do on how to do it in terms of applying for it, using your serial number, using your purchase. They'll walk you through how to do all that with this, as well as tell you any information about what they'll cover on the warranty for this cleaner. So keep this stored in your junk drawer, wherever it may be. Warranty information, user manuals, important to keep. They're not always readily available everywhere, but just to make sure, keep your copy, hold on to it. Now in that, the user manual, again, very, very, very important. You want to know how to do this. If we haven't already made a video to show you how, this will show you how. Keep this paperwork. And again, it's not always readily available online. Most of the time it is. You can normally find a lot of this stuff directly on Hayward's website, but for whatever reason, if you don't want to have to worry about getting on and Googling and searching, just keep your copy. This will walk you through what you need to do to get this thing up and running, installed, functioning, out the door, cleaning your pool. So keep it. All right, so let's jump in. Got the pretty AquaRay here. Here's the actual body. Actually got a couple other little pieces here. And let's pull out the seal. Same seal as the DV5000, only difference, color. Obviously you're looking at a blue cleaner with the AquaRay. The hoses are the same as their DV5000, but they do like to change the color up. So they did give you this kind of cool dark blue. So based off of whatever kind of liner or any kind of pebble tech or whatever you may have, really cool. Kind of matches in, kind of plays with the water thing. So I like it. Now, before we get into that, let's jump into the hoses. So, I believe this one is the same as the DV5000. You're going to get 16 of these. They are shorter hoses. So, they're not your typical standard meter hoses. So, they are a little smaller. So, you will need more of them. So, they gave them to you. So, read your user manual. They'll walk you through on how to determine how many of these you're going to need, especially based off of where you're going to plug the cleaner into a dedicated suction line or into your skimmer. And they'll walk you through on how many hoses you're going to need extra, just to make sure you got a deeper pool, shallow pool, whatever it may be, to make sure that this thing can do its job. So they're kind of loose in here, so I don't want to bring them all out, but they do give you 16 of them in here. They are a plastic kind of hose, so again, you will need to replace these over time. Between the sun and water chemistry, these do take a lot of the hit of your cleaner. So you will need to replace these. So if you don't require them all and you don't use all 16, store them. Keep them in a box, safe in your garage, put them somewhere. If you got an equipment room, put them in your equipment room. Just keep them in a safe, dry place so that they don't keep taking abuse over time and dry out and then be useless when you do need them. So, important. All right, now on to the actual cleaner itself. So it uses, very similar to the Creepy Crawly, it's got a 2 drive shaft system here. So it just allows it's not a diaphragm per se, it's more of like almost like a clock. So it has a big piece of like a rubber plastic in there, and when the suction kicks on, it smacks that thing back and forth, which agitates this cleaner back and forth along the pool floor. So as your suction's going, it's keeping it pinned to the ground. You're making sure that you're using the dedicated float that comes included. Again, read your user manual. Super easy on how a lot of these are installed. They just slide in. It's actually got pre-made slots on either side, so these actually will just slide in based off of that. Keep the cleaner weighted properly so that it goes. As long as your suction is where it needs to be, this cleaner will stay straight up and just agitate and just clean. It's meant to clean little small leaves, little small pebbles. It's not meant to take on your big debris, and it will get stuck. So if you're sucking something up that it's not supposed to, which looking at the orifice down here would be something about smaller than an acorn. So if you're looking at anything larger than an acorn, this just isn't for you. You're going to want to check out your other options. There's other options out there. But if you're looking for small debris, especially for us out here in Phoenix and stuff like that, where suction side cleaners are very, very prevalent, getting minor leaves and little things off the floor, this will do great for you. So they actually give you kind of a cool little protective cover over the drive tubes here, so that it actually kind of makes it a whole piece. And they got their pretty logo on it on both sides, so then that way you can see this bad boy kind of chucking along through the bottom of your pool. Again, very similar to the Creepy Crawly that made by Pantera. They use like the same kind of swivel at the top, so when the hose connects, this is your swivel, so that as it turns and as it does what it needs to randomly in your pool, the hoses don't get all wrapped up around each other, because this will allow it to kind of spin freely. So again, very similar to all other suction side, it has a foot pad. these foot pads have ridges on them. This is what keeps the cleaner on the bottom of the floor and is important to pay attention to. If these ridges become flush with the rest of the pad, you will have this start to suck to the bottom of the floor. And when it actually gets stuck on the bottom of the floor, you can actually do a lot of damage to your finish. So to make sure that doesn't happen, pay attention to this foot pad. Make sure that these ridges do stay above being flush. I mean, obviously you can have some wear and tear because this is what's going to rub across the bottom of your floor, but making sure that they don't actually go flush is very important for the functionality of this cleaner. So again, back to the seal, it actually has an up on it, so that'll actually tell you which side is going to be facing up. Check out our other videos. We'll show you how to install this, we'll show you how to swap out the foot pad, and then we're going to have a whole video on how to tear this thing down from start to finish to replace and troubleshoot any issues you may have. So stay tuned for those. All in all, this cleaner does great. They're not the most expensive cleaners, so they are really good on a budget, especially if you're looking for something that's just going to clean the pool efficiently with little maintenance. Hayward does make some good cleaners. There's no doubt about that. Overall, the AquaRay is a great cleaner. And make sure you check out all those links below. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'm Kyle with ePoolSupply. Thanks for watching.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Subscribe today if you haven't subscribed. Check out the links below. We got a lot more content coming your way. Thank you.